Good morning. Good morning, everyone. I made it. That's Keith. Keith is saying hi to everybody. Keith is, yeah, Keith is, I don't know. Anyways, good morning. I'm just going for a couple or a few people to show up, roll in. It's 10 a.m. It's 10 a.m. People are probably getting their coffee, hanging out, doing their thing. Hoping everybody's doing well right now. Everybody's getting their mojo moving this morning. Good morning. Hello, Kate. Good morning. Hello, Pravina. Good morning. Everyone I hope, is having a lovely morning so far. It's like 10 a.m. where I'm at, of course. And it looks like it's going to be a lovely day. The sun is out. It's actually pretty lovely. People are just kind of moving around, getting their things going, getting their life started. I know that there's been a lot of energy kind of crazy these days. Oh, good evening for you, Kate, right? Oh my goodness. Yeah, you're like on a whole other continental shelf, shall we say. What time is it there, Kate? It's like probably super late, right? Because most of the time when me and Debbie do the shows, it's like 3:00 in the morning or something. So you guys are probably like dinnerish time or something right now. So anyways, oh my gosh, my lighter kicked out. Oh, here it is. So I would just like to say that it's been a wonderful week, busy, productive. Of course, me working and having little time to come up with a topic or anything like that. So let's just wing it today like we have been for a little while. I know there's a lot of people out there that are kind of going through the, ups and downs right now. People are maybe getting jobs, maybe not getting jobs, maybe, just a little bit of this, a little bit of that. People are worried about family, money, those kind of things, to not family, but, looking for jobs, looking for work, maybe in a job, afraid. I was talking to a lady the other day and she was just like, yesterday, in fact, that her husband has been working from home, those kind of things. And it's been kind of stressful for her, even though, he's like doing the job of 3 different people. Good morning, Carlos. And it's just one of those things where, some of us are really having to dig deep, and wear many hats at our jobs, even though we're working from home. I know a friend of mine, the young lady that actually initiates my work for me to go see my patients. She's like always working, regardless whether you're working from home. Whether you're working from home and you're working, it seems that a lot of people are like constantly working. Like, yeah, you're at home, you can work in your jammies, but at the same time, you work, you stop, the kids, you gotta, your home life. And then again, here you go back to work, regardless of, whether it's 8:00 at night, 10:00 at night or whatever. Like the girl that my administrative, whatever you call it, she was like issuing me work last night at 10:00 at night. I'm like, dude, why are you still working? It's not like 8 to 5 anymore or 9 to 5 or whatever it is. I know people are out there working extra hard, but the message I want to send to is that keep in mind, you need to make that time for yourself and the family and all that stuff. I get it. People are like working hard, those, doing wearing more than one hat, those kind of things. And it's very difficult for us to sometimes come back into ourselves, to be able to take that time to, I really take a nap, take that bath, take that warm shower. People are working from home, but they're also working twice as hard as they would if they were to leave their home, go to an office, and clock out at the end of the day and leave. This is what I'm trying to say, is that we all need to remember, yeah, we have to sustain ourselves. Yes, we have to work. Yes, making that money is very lovely, and it provides for us. We're all working hard right now, but we also have to come back to ourselves. We have to be able to find it within ourselves to take that time back. Because I know a lot of people have said that this is the new way. People working from home. People don't want to go out into public and work in an office anymore, where it may no longer be safe for them to be, regardless of whether it's illness or just overall, financial of the company. Maybe they're better off having people working from home. Whatever the circumstances may be, always remember that we have to take care of ourselves. We have to step back from our desks. We have to be able to understand that we have to be able to understand that sometimes we are important. Of course, we're important. We need to be able to come back to ourselves, and that's very important. So the message today, I think, which is like my spirit guide, my grandmother's just kind of standing away. She's like, you know what, you figure it out. Because I think the message is for myself as well. It's like, you know what, we need to get down, take some time back to ourselves, get back into whatever sets us in our comfort zone, at least for a little while, to bring us back to ourselves, to make sure that we are taking care of ourselves. We're not running off of an empty tank, to make sure that we're not walking in zombie mode. And I see it all the time. I see so many people trying to do so many different things. Oh, we got our first troll. 6 minutes into the show, we got our first troll. I love it. Trolls, see, this is another thing. See, trolls don't take vacation. Trolls don't take vacation. So there you go. But anyways, I hope everything is well with you guys. I'm sending you guys tons of healing, tons of love and understanding, because you know what? I can feel just that so many questions out there always, as usual. But at the same time, it's one of those things where people have to really, really understand, is this here to change or alter my way of thinking, to change my path, where I move forward from here? It's, for some of us, it's a shakeup, not a shakedown. It's something to where we have to really reevaluate what we're doing right now to make sure that we're fulfilling our life purpose. Hello, Rhonda. Hello, Sayub. To make sure that we're moving into our life purpose. I know a lot of times I see patients, or I see people that are walking through their lives and they're just kind of stuck in a situation. That was me. I mean, even with the money, even with the jobs, the 2 jobs, I find myself sometimes, I'm like, is it really worth it? Is it really something that I feel that I need to be able to sustain myself? But it's one of those things where we have to make sure that we are not overdoing ourselves. I mean, at the end of the day, is it worth it? Yeah, we need to build up, for those of us, let the abundance come in. We're going to have to put in the work, of course. That's something that we have to do. But at the end of the day, when we're so tired and when we're so, we're not, I know life gets busy. Everybody's life gets busy. It's one of those things, But at the same time, we have to realize that, okay, am I overdoing it? Are we, what's going on? What am I forgetting? My grandmother just stepped in. She says, what are we forgetting? At the end of the day, we have to remember something more important, our family, of course, but ourselves. Did I enjoy the journey? Did I enjoy the things that I did throughout my time? And I think a lot of it too right now is reflection. I know for myself, I think, wow, I've been in this business for a long time. The healing, the kind of things that we're walking around every day, looking at people, situations, how blessed we truly are. I see families that are going through things in their lives that no person could possibly imagine unless they were actually there to see it. And that's something that we all take for granted because for those of us, I mean, I've been truly lucky. My children have been healthy their entire life, pretty much, little kids, little things here and there, stitches here, stitches there. But at the same time, we send out the healing as healers. We send out the healing for those that don't have that particular, um, that kind of insight. For instance, you have a doctor that tells somebody they have cancer, they have some really horrible illness, and they have limited time. Their mindset switches. It changes them. It takes them to another place of non-survival. Why do I give up? I mean, why do I try? Why do I, it shuts people down. I've seen it. I've seen it. And I think that sometimes we need to step out of our old ways of thinking, whether it may be the good, the bad, and the ugly. Now, I'm not comparing cancer to anything like this, but we have to come back to ourselves and really understand what's important in our lives. How we communicate with other people, how we don't communicate, whether we communicate with them or not. That's a form. Whether we haven't talked to anybody, just like the other day, Keith and I, my cousin Lisa, the one I'm very close to, I haven't talked to her for a while because life, work, whatever, and I haven't spoken to her for a while. And boom, she just popped in my head. I come home after my morning job. I come home and Keith is like, "Hey." He totally just thought of Lisa. She just popped into his head. We are connected. We are all connected in one way or another. And the thing about it is that I will call her because I know she's thinking of us both. And that's the thing that we need to remember, is that whether we speak to people or whether we do not speak to people, they still think of us. We think of them. But then we need to become engaged and take action into reaching out to them, because I mean, silent words are something that's silent, right? The words don't get spoken, but the intention is there to move forward. So we have to take that step to reach out to those that we love. Because in this moment in time, there's so much going on in the world that we have to send out those precious words, the love, the enthusiasm, the I got your backs, all those different things, if that makes sense. Okay. So anyways, Carlos, you missed the old Facebook. What's wrong with the new one? I don't go on Facebook anymore. I know I suck. I haven't had time for, it's all the same thing. It's all political or nonsense or whatever. The weather is beautiful here in Carlos. It's in California. It's lovely. It's actually, the sun is out. It's lovely. It gets cold at night though. Holy guacamole! It gets cold, but it's cool. But I'm up late at night, so anyways, it's lovely. But it's cold. If you like the cool nights, that's cool. Hello, Carla. Everyone viewing live. Yes, Ernest. Everybody's watching live. Everybody, this show's live. Censorship. Yeah, I think that's Debbie. Hi, Debbie. Debbie was talking about because we have so many. Well, I shouldn't say so many, but because we get some people on here that say certain things, automatically they get deleted. The whatever comments get deleted. Facebook stopping our freedom of speech. Oh yeah, you know what is that? Is that the new thing? Is that what Facebook is doing? Is that what that Zuckerberg kid or whatever his name is? Yeah, I think a lot of people are power to the people, right? Power to the people. I firmly believe in that. Without us, there wouldn't be them. And there shouldn't be any difference than anybody else, from me to you to them that got voted in or whatever. I don't want to turn this into a political thing because I don't roll like that, but there's a lot of healing that's taking place right now. Let me step back for a hot second. My grandmother says that we are all family in one way or another. When we step side, look to the left and to the right, we have neighbors. We see the people around us. They watch our house. They see us leave. They see us come home after work. We see them begin their days, and we see their struggle. We see their silence. We also come into certain things to where when we come back into our homes at the end of the day, we're still all here, regardless of whether we speak to our neighbors or not. And I think this is something of my grandmother's saying, where there is silence, there's still respect. But at the end of the day, too, the words that we speak to those, or even the smile that we give to certain people, whether we know them or not, that's still a form of healing. My grandmother used to always be the one that would offer something to somebody who she knew or who she didn't know. Where there was hunger, she would always feed those that were hungry. Even when she didn't have for herself, she was somebody who would always find a way. And I think that a lot of people are coming out like that today. The other day I went to McDonald's. I was blessed enough to stop and get a large Diet Coke. That what is it called? Debbie calls it that dummy drink or whatever it's called, that dumb juice or something. I don't know. Anyways, and there was a young lady that was sitting there, and she, hungry, whatever. And I just happened to have a banana, all this stuff, and so I gave her my what I had in there, and I had a big, huge water bottle. You know me, my big, huge water bottle, and I gave it to her. And I also gave her a mask because she said that she needed a mask as well. We're reaching out to those who are not able to provide for themselves. We're able to give them those kind words or send them that prayer, whether we have something to give them or not. Now, a lot of people would be skeptical about, oh, I don't give them money because they're just going to use it for drugs or alcohol. You know what? Who are we to judge? I spend my money on such bullshit sometimes that I just kind of like, wow. I could have bought like 50 pizzas for, a bunch of homeless people or whatever. I mean, we do what we do. But at the same time, though we look at even if we look at our neighbors, our family, our friends, whoever is in our circle, whoever our eyes touch throughout our lives, throughout our day, those people are the ones that they see us as well. Whether we bring them healing from a side, just put our hands together for them, or we just mentally send them some type of healing. That energy, we look at you can tell when somebody walks in and they've got great sadness on their face. You can tell when somebody's just shed a tear or they've been crying, their eyes are red. Those are the moments where we look at somebody and we send them to healing. I do, at least. I know there's many of you out there, as you are all healers in your own little way. We send them love. We send them comfort. Please, God, or whatever your higher power is, send this person healing. Help them get through whatever they're getting through. Help them to find the guidance that they so desperately seek, or even to bring them a warm place to rest their body tonight, to release them from their worries for at least one night, for one moment, for 1 hour, whatever it may be. Today we come together for a reason here, this platform. Whether we're being censored or not, we look at somebody, the words that we say, as long as our words are soft, people will understand. Hopefully they will be able to embrace it, to take it. But at the same time, the harsh words that come out, regardless of whatever their reason is for sending out those harsh words, how do we get past that? We send them love, we send them prayer, we send them healing, because whatever they're going through up here and in here is something that we cannot heal for them. We can ask for guidance for them. Maybe they're looking for answers. Maybe they feel they just have no answers. Maybe they feel whatever their feelings are. But we come back to ourselves and we check ourselves to be that person that they may be, just like how many times do I tell you guys, I may speak the words. I am just the person. I am just Here we go. It comes from here. It's a channel message from here to there, to out. Whether some of you share my message or not, or this message that's channeled, whether you share it to others or not, you are also the messenger. You are also the healers. So don't think that you're nothing less than the healer, because you are. Because in these shows, if there's one person out here that needed this message, that needed to hear it, that can absorb it, can use it in their day, or even just in that moment, or to use it for the rest of their lives, people see that example. Your neighbors, your coworkers, your children, your family, your friends, whoever's in your immediate circle. Whether you think people are looking or not, they are. Trust me. How many times have you smiled at somebody and they just smile back at you and you don't even know who they are? You get the shopping cart from the little old lady or the gentleman, and you don't know him. You're, hey, let me help you get that bag. How many people get scared? But how many people say, oh my gosh, thank you so much? There's a turn of events that happens when somebody is extremely grateful for the helping hand or the loving word that you give them. Trust me. Last night I seen some parents, and they had the worst day of their lives, okay? And something had happened to their child, and they came in, and we got together. We said a little prayer for them, and that was something that they needed. They were all over the place. It was a little something. Now, I don't push religion on anybody. I don't do any of that. But they sat there and they had their hands closed, and they had their hearts were very heavy. They were looking for answers. Your child gets sick, something happens, you don't know what's going on. So what we do as a group, we just say, you know what, hey, we send you love. We send you healing for your family, for your child, those kind of things, whether we say those words out loud or not. It's something I do throughout my day, at my, all the time. This is just my deal. It is what it is. I've done it for years, many moons, probably since I was a child. But this is the thing though, too. When you smile at somebody and you have that look in your eyes of you understand that this is not their finest moment, or this is a moment that they would never wish on another person, but yet they would never wish to have it themselves. But unfortunately, they find themselves there. And what happens is that just by that kindness, can I get you a coffee? Whatever it may be, that brief moment, they find comfort in something that is extremely hard to deal with at that time. And this is what I say about everywhere that we go. This is something I've learned even just in all my years of work. If you think somebody's not watching, I can guarantee you there's somebody always watching. When we walk through our day and this is the thing, people, I see this all the time, people walking, texting, bullshitting on their cell phones, they are missing everything to the side of them. What's in front of them? Half of them don't even look in front of them. They're just like going down like this, just looking and texting. They don't know how to step to the side and just send a text message or whatever, They'd rather block the whole doorway rather than step to the side. So what do you think they're missing out on? They're missing out on a lot of things. Number one, their security, right? How many people have you seen that have walked and tripped into a fountain, or walked and tripped in off of a curb, or walked and tripped into something because they're too busy doing this? Remember that everybody out here has a life to live, of course. We all have a life to live, but we're not the only ones. And that's very hard for some people to realize that, you know what? They're not the only one walking on the planet. There's people, animals, plants, trees. How many times I'm not laughing, but how many videos have you seen somebody's texting, they're walking and they freaking hit a pole? It happens all the time because people are they're just tuned into this and they're not tuned into this, right? So with that being said, that's just some crazy stuff. My grandmother's like, I think they got it, Carla. But anyways, So you know what? I mean, what have we done today? What have we done like this morning? I know it's early. I know it's early, but you know what? I got up this morning. Keith made me a very lovely cup of coffee, and I'm grateful for that. It's beautiful. It's like he warmed my heart. He woke me up. You know, it's one of those kind of things where you're just like, hey, I'm grateful for you because he is an excellent coffee maker. My coffee, it's not what you think. It's not what you think. It's just not all that great. But you know what? It's lovely. Either way, it's warm, it's wet, but he makes like the best cup of coffee. But anyways, you're welcome, Ernest. Yeah, Kate, totally. I mean, it's just like from the moment that we wake up, what are we doing? I'm not saying we need to wake up and be like, I'm gonna change. Whose life am I gonna change today? It becomes natural. It becomes natural. You know, it's just something that where you're able to just walk around. You know, you go through the drive-through, somebody lets you go. You know, there's a green light. You know, somebody makes a right, or there's a pedestrian that's walking. Whatever it may be. Yeah, it's just one of those things. Cleaning, say hi to Keith. That's like my tea. I call it's a baby tea. Oh yeah, right. Keith, Kate says hi.
Oh, okay, hi.
He says hi. He's sitting over here, just kind of hanging out, minding his beeswax. But I mean, you know what? I mean, we have so much to contribute. You guys are all healers in your own little way. You guys are like totally, you know, you guys are able to do so many more things than you believe. You know, we're all healers in our own little way. Those extra little miles we go to for people around us, whether we know them or not. You know, we're always aware of the good moments in our lives, but we're not really aware of those moments, those good moments that we actually put in other people's lives. Besides Christmas, you see the kids' faces. Oh my God, yay! But you know, like the little things. Carlos says hi, Dad.
Hmm?
Carlos says hi.
Oh, so far,
Carlos said, Keith says hi.
have a wonderful high vibrational day.
He's saying Keith is saying have a wonderful high vibrational day. You know, and Keith is another one. Let me tell you about Keith. Keith is a phenomenal healer. He's a good hands-on healer. He's Reiki. His hands get super hot. It's amazing how, let me tell you, somebody like Keith is like, he's like an undercover healer. He's not one to like be all flashy with his healings, but he's studied and do healing. That's what I'm saying. We all bring something to the table more unique than we could ever possibly think, or we don't even know. Sometimes we don't, like all these years, I was working in the medical field and I didn't even know I was healing people at the same time. Keith, same thing. Until we actually started attending school with my cousin Lisa, and we started running energy with her, and all of a sudden we're like, holy shit. We see spirits, we see this, we see that, all this energy going around, all these spirit guides, all this stuff. Boom, once you realize it, boom, all of a sudden it just opens up. It just opens up. I mean, we all know from the time we're little, oh, we're different. We're different. We're not like anybody else. We're not like everybody. What makes us different? You know, those of you that are out there, you guys, you know, the regulars here, you guys see spirit. You guys know exactly how energy flows. You guys know a lot of that stuff that's going on. Look at Debbie, the owner of this page. Look at Debbie. Remember that show we just did was it last week? All them orbs cruising around in her room, in her office. We all bring something unique to the table. We all have gifts that we are either trying to keep down because we're afraid of them, or we all acknowledge our gifts, but we're like, wait, hold on, move it in slow. I'm telling you, at work, I still have this one little girl that follows me around at the spirit. This is truth. This is true. I have this little girl who likes to stand behind me. I was trying to take a picture of her one day, but the spirits won't show themselves to me like some they will, but others they won't, because they know that I'm scared still. Truth be told. And I don't want to be like startled at work. I'm like, okay, if you want to talk to me, I know your vibration, you're here. And she'll just stand behind me and she'll just talk. She'll just talk. Hi, you're back. You know, that kind of thing. And when I come home, when I go home, they sit in the back seat. I can see their little, they sit back there. I know their vibration. There's like 3 or 4, and they come and I allow them to drive, because most spirits, I won't allow them to drive. I won't let them sit in the front seat. They can sit in the back seat. I allow them to sit with me. Most of the time I tell them, you cannot come in the car with me. I allow them to sit in the car with me until I get to Mira Mesa. And then I tell them they have to go back to the hospital. Unless if they want to cross over, I have my grandmother come in, I have my spirit guide come in, and I help those that want to cross over to cross over. But they're like, no, we'll wait for you to come back. And that's every night. They listen to the music with me. They sit in the back. They dance. They kind of just whatever. They just sit there. They're like cute as can be. But they won't like completely show themselves to me, because I'm like, come on now, I'm driving. Don't spook me. I'm like, don't scare me. But I mean, I don't think I would be scared, but they're just kind of like, they respect me. Okay. So this little girl that sits in there, she tells me a little bit of her story, and she tells me these certain things that it really breaks my heart, because she's like, I wasn't ready to go. Well, actually she was ready to go, but her mommy said, her mommy was not ready to let her go. Her mom still is not ready to let her go. And it's been years. I think it's been at least 10 years, she says, in her time. So, there is no time on the other side, but she's like, I think maybe in your time it's 10 years. I don't know. It could probably be longer. I have no idea. But anyways, we all have some kind of gift that we have either acknowledged, or we're just kind of like, wait, hold on, but when we're ready for it, the universe will bring it to us, and we ask, of course, our higher powers to assist us in this transition. But at the same time, if we're comfortable in where we are right now, that's okay too. I've learned that over the years that I have seen so many more spirits open up. Like I told you guys, that one show when I was walking in the parking garage where I work is just like dark. I don't like it at all whatsoever, because I can see not devil dogs, but I can see dogs, dead dogs, like walking around, but they're like not nice dogs. It's kind of like weird, just weird. They don't come around me, but it's just kind of weird. So this one time I seen this spirit, he's just like booking it, running, just letting me know he's there. So there's a little bit of everything that kind of goes on in that parking garage, and I don't really care for it. I don't say, hey, whatever. I don't mess with it, and they don't mess with me, and I'm happy. I'm okay with that. Amazing. I used to only see spirit in cars. Yeah, absolutely, Kate. I've seen that. I've seen one of them, like that one little girl. I don't know if you guys remember one little girl come in. Keith would go to that side of town. And that one little girl that would always come and get in the back seat, and she would always like talk to Keith, like she was attracted to Keith, but it looked like she had like her head cut or something like that, like she had been in a car accident. She doesn't come around anymore, so I'm thinking she probably crossed over, because it's been you know what I mean. I mean, it's been a while, but sometimes they come to Keith. Like I think she thought Keith was her dad. I think that's what if I recall. Yeah. She thought Keith was her dad, or maybe he could have been her dad in another life. I don't know, but very true, very true. I seen a man. I ran up my stairs last night. Yeah, see, there's something going on in your house, Kate, where it's just kind of like, I don't know. She just seen a man running up her stairs last night. I swear okay, let me tell you this true story. You're ding dong. Anyways, there is a, what do you call it? There's something outside our bedroom window. I don't know if it's looking over, because I put protection all around our house. I think it's looking over from the neighbor's house. Keith was telling me the other night, what was it last night, Dad? Anyways, Gypsy, my dog, for those of you that follow me, Gypsy Rose, my dog, who's a husky. Sometimes she starts and she's like looking out the window. And other times she'll just kind of be like, just sitting there looking out the window. And she doesn't really say or like make any noise or nothing like that, but sometimes she's just like, screw this, I'm going outside. So whatever she's seen or whatever, she's not afraid of it. Sometimes she is, sometimes she's not. I don't know. Or she like speaks up about it. But there's always spirits running around or walking around or doing something. Now I've said this a million times before. All of you people that have those cameras in your home, those ringers, what do they call? My God, those doorbells, those ones with the video in them, those ones that like that. Ever since people started putting that stuff inside their house, there's a lot more sightings than what used to be. And I'm telling you, there's spirits out there that don't like that shit. They don't like it. They live freely amongst the living. They were able to just, do whatever they wanted to do. And nobody made us think about it. Nobody knew they were there. Nobody knew anything about them. Now everybody knows everything. The secret's out, right? So when we look at that, we're just kind of like, okay, how do we make them happy, as well as, not making them mad, not making a mess in our house, but then again, there's those that are out there poking the freaking bear, man. There's those that are out there that are poking the freaking bear. I've seen people on videos, they post them on some, whatever YouTube, where they're bullshitting with these spirits, and these spirits get upset. They start throwing things off. They start, whatever, making noises, opening drawers, doing this. We don't want to agitate them, man. We just want to let them be. Like, they let us be. They don't bug us. Then people get spooked, right? They poke the bear, and then people are like, holy shit. Then they get scared. They don't want it no more. So to me, it's always a respect thing. It's something where we have to respect them, because, they're not going anywhere. Honestly, how are you going to fight something you can't see? There are ways. Trust me. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, how do you handle that situation? We have, like, Kate, you always have activity going on, Kate. So what do? You tell them, hey, look, you know what? We can live here together. You stay on your side of the house. I'll stay on my side of the house. I'll mind my business. You mind your business. And we can all live in one big happy family. Because sometimes I've learned, the cases that I've looked at, is that they were there before you even were, any of us were here in our home, whether it's by the land, being, the people tied to the land, or it's just by they lived there in that house before you. Or, whatever, they might have lived in a house there 100 years ago or whatever, and then they came back. That's their comfort zone. That's what happens a lot of times, is that if a spirit comes back to a place, that's where they were most happiest when they were alive, regardless of whether the house is still there or not. They are tied to that land. Total example, you get people that are Native American burial grounds. That's sacred land. That's hollow land. That should never be built on any cemetery, for that matter. Any cemetery, for that matter. Any hollow ground. Any ground that is sacred. Where anybody has been laid to rest, that ground should never be flattened, built upon. No life should be, it disturbs their sleep. Ever since I was a child, no bullshit. Ever since I was a child, we would go to the cemetery. We would take flowers or whatever. I would never, and still to this day, I never walk across anybody's burial ground where they're buried, their headstone. I'll stand to the side of it, but I will never stand where somebody's put to rest. Because to me, that's just my way. This is just who I am. To me, it's a disrespectful way of me, like, standing on them. Of course, I'll go up but I won't, you know what I mean? I'll go to the side. I'll kind of stand in front sometimes, but not like where they're like buried. That's just me. To me, it's a respect thing. It's one of those things I was raised with. It's something that I carry deeply in who I am and everything that I do when it comes to those in life and those that are passed on. Sometimes, I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm just saying sometimes you got to let people have it. But at the same time, we have to understand that they are our ancestors. They are who brought us to this moment here and now. Without them, we wouldn't be here. Without them, we wouldn't have the traditions that we carry, we hold, those kind of things. We also have to understand that sometimes those traditions do get lost, but there's always one in the crowd who carries the tradition, and hopefully we hope that they get picked up on, picked up by other people in the family. It's almost like losing an elder in your family, your grandfather, your grandmother, just like this young man here, um, Sayub Sukdeo. He lost his grandmother last month. We're so sorry for your loss, sweetheart. When we lose an elder, when we lose somebody who brings great knowledge not only to our home, to our family, to our hearts, but to who we are, but also it's like losing a library. It's like losing an entire world of knowledge. Somebody who can guide us in our days, in our future, but also somebody who we can just sit with and understand. Just I know that sometimes when we look at our elderly folks, they're just like, oh, some of them are just not that nice, and some of them just don't seem all there, whatever, where their mind starts to leave them or whatever. But there's still great knowledge in there. In the eyes never lie. The face, the stories they've told us, the knowledge that they bring, the traditions, the food, all those great things, where we come from, maybe another country. It's funny because I used to tell my grandmother, and I used to tell my dad, I'm like, man, my dad grew up on another planet. I used to tell people that because he's different. He's not like, I don't know. I'm not saying all of our parents are perfect, and I'm not comparing my parents to any other parents here. But when it comes to tradition, it was a thing of respect. It was always something where you had to carry yourself, you work hard, you provide for your family, you have those old ways of thinking. You respect your elders. You say please and thank you. You go to somebody's house, you don't ask for nothing, you don't touch nothing, you don't look for nothing. It was just that way. Somebody offers you something, yes. If you're thirsty, yes, thank you. Please and thank you always. You see, those are the kind of things that get lost. They are lost. We teach our children, my grandchildren, the same way, please and thank you. My daughter, my children, my granddaughters, please and thank you. Whether we wanted something or not, you go to Nana's house, oh, we just ate. You eat again. You eat again. You have, there's ice cream, there's make a cone. There's a cone, get ice cream. It's the way it is. Everybody knew when you went to Nana's house, you got fed, whether you already ate. That's why you're like, most of the time, we're not going to eat because we're going to go to Nana's house because she's always got food. Those are the kind of traditions or the kind of things that you remember growing up, right? You remember, and everybody's household is different. But we all have these elders, our ancestors, that bring something unique to the table. But a lot of it is based on respect, love. Very simple ways of living, not gaudy, none of that stuff. Very simple ways of living, but the tradition is strong. Absolutely. Totally the same, Carla. It's just respect the young man. Man is new. I thought it was my daughter at first, but wasn't. Oh yeah. See, I think a lot of times when spirit comes to us, I think they're just comfortable. I've come to the conclusion that a lot of the children that come to me while I'm at work or wherever I'm at, not just necessarily at work. I do see clients during the day where I see a spouse that has passed away. I see him standing in the corner sometimes. I don't say anything to anybody. I don't ask them unless they tell me that there's something. If I see a grieving wife or a grieving person, and I see the family member standing in the corner, or they step forward and they're like, can you please give a message? I will definitely say, you know what? I am sorry for your loss. My condolence to you and your beautiful family. But at the same time, I let them know, but you know what? They're okay now. I convey that message in a way without being intrusive to them in their respect to, they didn't ask me for it. But their loved one came to me and said, hey, you know what? Can you please just help me out? And they're okay with that. I'm not one of those, for those of you that know me, I'm not one of those. I'm not going to talk bad about any other psychics out there, the ones that are on TV, whatever. I don't go, if I see somebody and there's a spirit next to them and they're just like, hey, you know what? I don't walk up to that person. Oh, my name is Carla Fishinghawk and there's a dead well. I don't do that. I send them love and I send them healing. And then if it's something that's really weird or something like that, I talk to the spirit and I help them any way that I can. But I'm not one that goes up to somebody and says, hey, you know what? Let me tap on you, let me talk to you for a hot second. I don't do that. Some people would say, you know what, but you have to know, because to me that's interference. Now, if I see a person that's really having a tough time, being an empath, a lot of the times that person will automatically come up to me. A lot of times that person will come up to me. I had a girl last week when I went to work, very lovely, beautiful young lady, starts telling me her whole life story. I'm working with her. She starts telling me her whole life story. How her relationship is shit and how just all this horrible stuff. Why does she tell me? You know why? Because her spirit guide or whoever, or maybe I think there was a time that my grandmother stepped in and said, you know what, I'm going to help you bridge this gap and she's going to open up to you and you're going to help heal her. I seen her yesterday, the same girl, this young, beautiful lady. I seen her yesterday and she came up to me and she goes, you know what, I'm grateful for you. I was like, she had her hair different. And I forgot what I'd done for her, because when I channeled that message for her, those words are not my own words. Those words came from my grandmother. So a lot of that conversation that happened, I don't remember it. Some of it, yeah, I do, because I threw my own little, salt and pepper. I threw my own little ingredients, my own little spices in there. But a lot of that message was channeled from my grandmother. And some of it was channeled from her grandmother as well that I passed on. So what happened was she came up to me yesterday and she said, hey, she goes, I am so grateful for you. She thanked me. She says, you know what? My life has gotten so much better ever since we spoke. She goes, I don't care about, this relationship, blah, blah, blah. She's like, thank you for helping me find my power. Thank you for helping me realize how wonderful and how truly gifted I am. And how I will no longer put myself through that shit show. She goes, as you called it, shit show. Now that was my words, not my grandmother's. But it was very lovely because I looked at her and I was like, oh my goodness. So you think you run into somebody, whether you work with them, your neighbors, somebody from the outside, that person in the grocery store pushing the cart having trouble. You think you're not touching their lives in a way that is not going to change them? Think again, because I can guarantee you, each and every one of you are out there making a difference through your hurt, through your grief, through something you're going through in your life, or maybe life is good for you and you're able to just share that smile, that wink, that eye contact with somebody. Trust me, you are changing somebody's life. You are making a difference. So many people go through so much in their lives behind closed doors that we will never know. I've always told my children that what people do behind closed doors in their own home, how many stories do we see? Something horrible happened. And how many times did you see in the news report, he was a nice guy, she was a nice lady, I would have never known. They were always quiet, kept to themselves, never any trouble. They were the perfect neighbors. Serial killers. Or not just that, but other things. Abuse, just horrible things in their lives, great sadness all the time, but they wore those masks for people out in public. They knew how to act, they knew how to be, all those different things. I'm not saying everybody's got serial killers around them. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is that we don't know what happens in anyone's life when they close their doors, when they go home. Everybody has a life to live that nobody knows anything about. A lot of people, some of my family members don't know that I'm a psychic medium. They don't know I can see spirit. They don't know that I do this show. Some people do know that I do this show, and some family members or friends, they don't want to be on it because they don't want me to know their business. And that's a mutual respect. I can respect that. Maybe they're just not ready. Maybe they just don't know. The curiosity is there. I have a really good friend of mine who came to me the other day and he said, "Hey, what's this shit?" He goes, "What's this show you're doing?" He's like, "I saw you on Facebook. What's this? What are you selling? What are you doing? What are you selling?" I'm like, "I'm not selling anything." I'm like, I'm not selling anything." I'm like, "You watch the show." He's also, "What do you do? What are you calling it?" I'm like, "Well, you saw the show." I'm like, "Well, what do you think it is?" And then he's like, and then the next time I seen him, he's like, "So what is it that you're doing again?" And I'm like, "What do you think I'm doing?" Because to many people, it could be something different. I'm not trying to sell you folks anything. I'm not trying to take anything from you guys. I'm just here to share the word, to share the knowledge, to share the love, to share the peace, to share the enlightenment, to share whatever, however you want to look at it, whatever my words bring to you today and all your tomorrows. And if I've helped you in your yesterdays, if anything that Debbie or I or any of these beautiful people on Psychic Fixes has come into your life and changed you for a brief moment or for the rest of your days, it's lovely. It's lovely. This is our sole purpose. This is our life purpose. Yeah, I know he's a fan. That's something I told him. I go, "I know you've been watching me because I'm a psychic. I know." He's like, "But what do you call yourself?" He's like, "What do you do?" And I'm like, "Well, let's just say I do a little bit of everything." I already knew what he wanted, but I wanted him to ask me because I'm not going to put words in his mouth. So of course he referred a friend to me because his friend is having some, there's some spiritual stuff going on there, and he's just like, "Okay, so I referred a friend to you." He goes, "So I want you to go ahead and kind of help them out." Okay, fine, that's okay. I don't like to put a label on myself because I'm a little bit of everything, and I don't know what I am because I don't want to close myself in. In this world of spirituality and all the healing and everything that I do, I don't ever want to put a glass ceiling on what I've got going on, or that glass ceiling is just not for me, because we grow each and every day. All of you out there grow each and every day. As you heal me through these shows, I hope and pray that I'm healing you in one way or another. Because in each and every one of my words that I speak to you, I always send a vibrational healing into every single thing to help heal you in those parts of your lives, through your grief, through your looking for answers. I try to give you that little bit of push to help you to move forward, to get you out of that stagnation, to help you search for those answers, but also to help to pole vault you into your life purpose, which you're already doing right now. We bring so much to the table, but we don't give ourselves enough credit for what we do each and every day. So what we do today, and this is the thing that they say, everything that we do today is a domino effect for what we create. What you reap is what you sow. We come into people's lives, we give them advice, whether they take it or not. We lend them an ear. We sit, we cry with them. We share a drink with them. We share a dinner, a lunch, a breakfast, whatever. We share a meal with them. We give them our time, but we also come to an understanding that we are all in this together. You are no different than I am no different than you. We just live under different roofs. We wear different clothes. We may even eat different foods. Some may want their water with lemon, and some may just want plain water with ice. Some people may not want ice. We are all different. We are all unique to who we are. We are all unique creatures, but we all have the ability to love, to be loved, accepting something that is much greater than ourselves, our belief, our trust, in everything that we are. When we truly stand in our power, we are able to embrace the gifts that we have. When we stand in our truth, we are unshakable. I tell people that all the time. We stand in our truth and we're able to just move mountains because our truth is something that is that's all that there is. We can't go back and change what happened in the past, but when we push forward into the future, we look at it as bricks that have been laid. Like this is my thing. You can't build a pyramid from the top down. When we speak our truth, we build pyramids. We build it from the bottom. We have nothing but sturdy ground underneath us. Our bricks are solid and nobody can knock us over. The wind can come, the tsunamis, the whatever. We don't fall. The tree, we stand just like the tree. The wind can come, the rain. But when we stand in our truth, we are able to move with it, to bend with it, to embrace it, to allow it to wipe us clear from anything that we may have been holding on to. But it doesn't change how deeply our roots are embedded in Mother Earth. So I hope that's helped you today. My grandmother is just like, oh, that's so beautiful, mija. But I love this. I love this. This is wonderful. This show is absolutely wonderful. I've been hearing that a lot, Carla. But you, so yeah, absolutely, Carlos. You know what? A lot of people, man, I'm telling you, the chickens have come home to roost. And for those of us that have been really working hard, like a lot of you have, we're working through some very heavy emotions right now. We are in retrograde again. We are in retrograde, but at the same time, it's like I'm actually handling it much better. In the very beginning, it was not very fun. I was like, I mean, I'm tired, whatever, but because I'm the nap queen, you guys know that. But seriously, the emotions that are going around, the energy that's kind of flowing. I haven't watched TV in I don't know how long, besides Netflix, whatever. But TV news, nope. Come back to yourself. If it ain't happening in front of you, it ain't happening. Always remember that. Trust in your journey. Self-love, it's where it's at. And when you need guidance, call on your spirit guides, call on your ancestors, call on the angels. Call on my grandmother. Shit, she loves you guys. My grandmother's always like, oh, I know my grandmother because I didn't do my show last Saturday. She's like, oh, okay, rest, mija, rest. My grandmother still sends healing out to everybody. She still bops in and checks on a bunch of people. Carlos, Kate, all you guys. Debbie, she's always hanging out with Debbie. She said, Debbie's been busy lately. She checks in on everybody. My grandmother's like that. She's not stingy. I don't just hold her to myself. I said, you know what? Go out and do the work while I replenish. She's awesome. My grandmother's awesome. Tell your grandmother I said, thank you for helping me with that. Oh, you know what? Did she not, Carlos? Did she not? Did my grandma, she hooked up your credit, didn't she? I'm telling you, my grandmother has been hooking up my credit. I'm telling you, I am telling you. That is amazing. I love it. She ask her anything you want. She'll help you. I'm telling you, she'll do it. She'll do it. And I've got stories. Next time. My grandmother, she's a mover and a shaker. She's a mover and a shaker. She is just absolutely amazing. Like right now, my sister's car took a dive. So my sister's looking to get a new car right now. And so my grandmother's like, oh my God, look, my grandmother, she's like, oh my gosh. She's like, so I'm going to ask my grandmother, can you help, my sister, which is her other granddaughter. We're cousins, but we grew up together. So we're more sisters than anything. So she says, yeah. She's like, yeah, I'm going to help her get a car. I'm going to get her something nice this time. I mean, she got her a nice car before, they got it back in the day, many, many moons ago. But anyways, so my grandma says, oh yeah, I'm going to get her something really nice. We're going to work it out. She's going to get it. She's going to get it by next weekend. She's going to get her new car. I love it. This week, she'll get it. I'm making good decisions. Oh, you know what, Carlos? Me too. Absolutely. Because she won't let me spend on bullshit. She's like, nope. She's like, nope, don't do it. Don't do it. So absolutely, Carla, she'll guide you. She'll stand there. She's like, I got you. I got this. I got this. She's like, you don't have to tell me. She's telling me, you don't have to tell me. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this show today. I know it was just a little bit of talking, a little bit of this. Next Saturday, let's just do some ratings. Let's just break it down. Debbie's been doing such beautiful stuff with her readings. Tuesdays, Monday we'll be back. We got so much going on. I know there's been some big changes on Psychic Fixes. It's been absolutely wonderful. We got some beautiful healers on there. Kathy Melanowski has joined the crew. The first Tuesday of the month, she's an amazing healer. I've done some shows with her on her Facebook page. Beautiful person, beautiful healer. All of those ladies and gentlemen that are on there, amazing, amazing healers. Reiki, every form of Reiki you could possibly imagine. These women, these people, these folks, oh my goodness. And then of course, Kristen with her show on Fridays, her healing. She had a lovely one last night. I watched briefly from work. Beautiful stuff. Monday night show, me and Debbie, 6:30. Tuesday free reading, 6:30 p.m. I will be back next Saturday. Let's do some free readings next Saturday. But also, Debbie's doing her Friday readings still as well. And then I don't know what else is going on. Oh my God. And then Lady T, Tuesday morning, she has her dream interpretations. Man, she's a hot ticket, man. You got to watch Lady T. You got some things going on. I've been having some dreams about snakes. I don't know why, but I'm going to hit her up. I'm going to ask her exactly what's going on with them dreams. Ask her what I can do. I got sick about 2 years ago. I couldn't pay my cards, but once I got back on my feet, I paid every last penny I owned, but my credit still sunk, even though I only paid a few months. Let me tell you, Lupe, my grandmother says, don't worry about it. She's got you. She says, you're going to work on it. It's going to start flipping over. It's going to start. She's like, but don't pay. Don't pay, because even if you pay it, what she's saying is just don't pay nothing right now. Let her work on it. Let her work. I'm telling you, it's some crazy stuff, man. Even Carlos is a witness, man. My grandmother did. I'm like, Grandma, help me work on my credit right now, man. Help me work on my credit, man. I'm telling you, within a month. And I'm like, holy shit, I didn't even do anything. Seriously, stuff just fell off my credit. Fell off. She's working miracles, guys. She's working miracles. Ask Nana, any of you. Have snakes. Interesting. Lupe, on Tuesday mornings, come and watch Lady T. Go on Psychic Fixes on the Facebook page and check it out. Go in there. Check her out. Lady T, I believe she's on at 8 a.m. in the morning. Watch her show. Ask her those questions and see exactly what she'll tell you right then and there. You can even inbox her, Lady T, and she will tell you exactly. Because I'm telling you, I had that dream a couple weeks ago about snakes, kind of like walking, there's snakes, kind of like the Indiana Jones, and I didn't fall like off of a Anubis or nothing, but it was just really weird. Everywhere I went, there was just snakes. Just very odd stuff. But anyways, I love you guys. Be safe, and remember, everything you do, you're healing somebody or yourself. You're healing those. Even talk to your plants. My plant is so sad in the back because I can tell when I'm doing well, my plant grows. And then when I'm not, it's just kind of like it slows down a little bit. So that's my reminder that I need to come back to self. I need to slow down. I need to be able to go back within and get my shinola together. Step back into that. You guys have a love you too, Ernest. You guys, please be safe. Stay hydrated. Unconditional love. See, my eyes, I'm not high, I swear. It's just the healing that's happened. It relaxes you. The words, the release of what no longer serves your best and highest good. We send a prayer. Let's do it. So I call on my Nana. my spirit guides, the higher power, the angels, to please come in and bless us, to guide us, to help us throughout our days. If we ever find ourselves at a fork in the road, we please ask that you intervene to help to guide us to find the words, to soften whatever situation that may be that may be in our way, a hurdle we need to get over, those lower vibrational energies that we may hold on to. Please help us to release those energies, to only walk in high vibrational energy, loving, healing white light, to activate us, to move forward in a positive, full of love, unconditional love for ourselves, our families, and all of evolution. I bless you when I leave you with that. Have a good day. Have a good weekend. I'll see you guys Monday. Love you.